Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of The Sienna Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta or on Ravelry as MamamadeVM. And I will put that in the down bar. Oh, you know what I just realized? It's Megan_Babauta_. So, like I said, I'll put it in the down bar so you can find me in all those places. Today, I want to go over my whips, and I have some plans for the stuff that I already have going. Well, just one project, my Hawkrun Hollow. I have some other plans for that one, and then I do have 2 new starts, so I'll include those and all their details. And then I think if I have time, if the video's not running too long and my daughter can stay occupied for that long, then I will probably stitch up. I'll probably show you my kitted up projects because April is my birthday month. So I've decided I want to either start a project once every week or start a project once every weekend. And April's a pretty long month, 30 days. So we'll see what happens. But I just want to show you guys what I have and what I have kitted up and what's going on in my life. So as I say, you are welcome here. So for starters, this project got a lot of my time in the past couple weeks. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but it got quite a few days, probably like 5 days worth of stitching. This is Sarah Moon 1791. And I got this at Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Washington, and it is a large piece. I'm stitching it on 28 count amber linen that I also purchased at that shop. My needle minder is from Amazon, but I will link an Etsy seller that sells the same exact one because I'm terrible and I didn't even think about looking on Etsy to buy these, whereas I much rather would have supported the person directly, although Etsy isn't always that way, but you know, probably better than Amazon. And here is how this is looking. I honestly can't remember where I was at last. I think I had just finished this tulip portion. So I completed the pot and then I completed this motif. I actually realized that the pot is about 1 or 2 stitches off. So it should have been further over this way. And that cut into this motif. I should have just stitched this motif and counted off of it. I didn't. I really wanted a more exciting color. I wanted to stitch that red. So my own doing. I just made do and fudged it, and I ended up like messing this motif up pretty much. You can, well, I don't think you can tell, but it's uneven. Now that I said it, probably notice. But honestly, when it's hanging up on the wall and everything, I don't think it'll be that noticeable. The other things that I stitched was I added the U. I don't know if I had that last. The Z is here. I started the wreath that goes around the little squirrel, and then I also, this part is really muted compared to the fabric, but it's a little honeybee and a dragonfly and the hive. I almost actually restitched that in a different color. Now though, looking at it, I'm glad that I didn't because it really does look like a little honeybee motif, and that's super cute. I love that. And since last time, I did change the way that I store these threads. I just wanted to give a shot to bobbinating. I think that's what you call it. I'm not sure. I'm still new to cross stitching, so the terms are new to me. So I did bobbinate, or I bobbined a bunch of my threads, all of them I should say, except for a few. This is a thread organizer that I got off of 123 Stitch. Not obsessed with that because I don't know if you can see, there's a very sharp edge here that's not very well protected. A tiny little finger could fit right in there, and that is a very sharp, it's a thread cutter. So that's the only thing I don't think that I like about it. Honestly, probably when I'm done with this project, I'll either ask my husband to cut off that portion, or I'll just end up giving the thread organizer to someone else or donating it or something, because yeah, my daughter, she's only 4, so I can imagine her getting into this and really hurting herself. It just doesn't seem very safe for a household with little kids. But I don't know, I like the bobbins. I don't think it's necessary to have them in a large case like this though. Maybe if I were storing them that way for like extra floss, so like an actual floss storage solution, but I just stick it in here. So this project bag is just pretty thick. But I really like that project. It's still super fun, and you know, I'm enjoying it, and that's what this hobby's about, right? Enjoying things. This is one of my new starts. It is Sampler Flowers Feed the Soul. I am stitching this on 28 count antique white Lugana, and I'm stitching it with DMC 915, which is like a beautiful fuchsia color. My needle minder is also from Amazon, and I'll link below a lady who sells the same exact needle minders on Etsy. So this is like a piece of fabric with some stitching, not even really a whip. It's just the very first 2 rows, but I will say, I mean, I'll give myself credit. I did actually start as a center start 1/2, and I decided that I just wasn't obsessed with the look of that on 28 count. It was a little too sparse. There was just too much of the white showing through, and you weren't looking at that beautiful fuchsia color, and I wanted that to be the standout, not the fabric. So I restarted it as a 2/2 on the 28 count, which I love. 28 count 2/2, I'm obsessed. I love the look of those stitches, the size of them, everything, the plumpness, I like that. And I restarted at the upper corner because I figured, well, maybe I'll have a little bit of the fabric left if I start at the upper corner. I'll have a piece I can save at the bottom if I wanted to stitch something really small. So I just decided to do that, and I'm really liking this project. I actually, that portion in the middle, I did a good portion of the middle flower and the stem for the flower, and I cut it all out. But that was like a good 45 minutes worth of stitching. So by the time I got up to the top border, I just didn't feel like stitching on it any longer. And I cut it out, and I just picked it up last night and did the bottom row, those every 2 repeats. So I did that last night, and I think I might pick that up later today. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So my next project is my very first cross stitch project. I started this in January of this year. This is a Pandemic by Long Dot Samplers. And I'm stitching this on Ada with DMC 311. My needle minder for this one is from 123 Stitch. I just wanted something blue, so I just found a blue needle minder off of there. And I did get work done on this one since last you guys saw. I love this pattern. It's so much fun. I always think to myself like, oh, I don't really feel like stitching on that. And then when I pull it out, obsessed. And like I said, it was my very first cross stitch project, so I'm never gonna show you the back of it. It is terrible. But I did start a little bit more of the upper border here, and then I did bring down this bar here. I did these 4 droplets as well as this little backstitch butterfly, which is so cute. I love it. And I'm stitching this 3/1 on a quite large Ada. I don't know why I decided to do 3/1. I just like how plump the stitches look. I like how you cannot see through these stitches at all. I wanted that with this sampler, and I really also like the contrast with the back stitching being, I didn't change the color. And I feel as if I would have changed the color to do a slightly different shade of the blue, then it would have even stood out more. But I really like the contrast of the 3/1 versus the 1 strand of the same color. I am obsessed. So I did get a little bit done with this one. I will say I stitched this motif, which repeats down here, 3 times. Oh my gosh, I restitched it 3 times. Every time I like restitch it, I just was a count off or a stitch off. I don't know why. I think it's because I was stitching at work and I get distracted, or someone will come and chat with me, and I kind of lose where I was on the chart because I'm not being good about using my little magnet strips, which is what I need to do when I'm working on this project. But it is a really easy one to follow. That's the first time I've had that happen with this chart. I think this is one that I can't bring to work. I get too easily distracted at work. So I need to just stitch on it at home. I'll definitely probably put some more stitches in that later this April, but I don't know, I really want to start things, so we'll have to see. This is the one project I didn't get any stitching on, but I just wanted to talk about it because I think I might make a change to this one. So this is my Halloween at Hawkrun Holo. I think everyone has seen this pattern or heard about it. Sorry, I just sneezed, so it really threw me off there. So like I said, the Halloween at the Hawkrun Holo, I really love this pattern, but I had started it and accidentally stitched it in the wrong color a few times, which really threw me off the project. But not only that, I think that I'm not obsessed with 40 count. This is Country Mocha, and that's all I have. I haven't stitched on it at all. I don't know, when I look at it, I love the tiny little stitches, but when I'm actually stitching on it, it's not enjoyable, and I want this hobby to be enjoyable. That's the thing with my knitting, which has kind of put me off of knitting, is that it's not really feeling enjoyable to me, and this is supposed to be my hobby, you know, it's supposed to be what's fun. So I think I would rather stitch this on 28 count 2/2, which would make the piece huge, and I don't really want a Halloween piece that's that big. I don't think I want a Halloween piece that's that big. I don't know. I'll have to look at the dimensions. So I'm probably gonna go on 1, 2, 3 stitch today and look and see, but this is the portion that I already stitched, and I had accidentally cut the moon, and that actually ended up coming to thread, and I had to restart at the other end, which is fine. I have enough fabric to do that, but like, I don't think that I wanna stitch it on this fabric. I don't know, see, now I'm looking at it and it looks so nice. That's the tricky part. I was thinking I would just put it on the back burner and let it simmer for a while and decide what I want to do. I think that my eyesight is just not good enough to stitch on 40 count. I think 36 would probably be ideal, or I could get some of those mag eyes, like the magnifying glasses. I was thinking about that. You know, I've got a few options that could make it work on the 40 count, but is it worth it? You know, is it? I don't know. I could just swap it out with a 36 and be much happier. So I have looked at some fabrics. I might make that change. This is the one project that I'm gonna put on the back burner for now, and I'll probably come back to it when I make my final decision, which I think my final decision will be to stitch on a 36 count. I also was looking at fabrics, and I did actually find one that I really liked off of Etsy, which is like a mottled gray color. So it looks more like sky. And that's the one thing that I was thinking as well, is that I like this fabric a lot, but I think it would be better for a sampler. And there's plenty of, you know, 36, 40 count samplers, I'm sure, out there, or something I could convert to it. But it'd just be something that I'd have to feel like it was worthwhile to stitch on that. And this to me is like a fun, quirky stitch, you know? I should be enjoying this because it's so much fun. So I do want to order a new piece. And a lot of the backdrop, like the part of the fabric that's showing, is skyline. And so I think that something gray or something that looks like that, like October skyline, would be better. So I'm gonna see what happens. I might just go to Threadneedle Street and pick up a piece of linen from there that's in a 36 count, because she has a lot of linens, and just get a yard from her. So I might do that. I don't know. My next project, I think that this is actually my last start, is Plum Street Samplers, Miss Bingleys Library. I am stitching this on a 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen, and here she is. I love this one. It says, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library, 1813. So this is where I'm at currently, and my needle minder on this one is from MamamadeVM. Let me see. I can show you that. MamamadeVM, and she's on Etsy. I just placed another order from her. So I'm obsessed with this. I love this. I love the way the fancy flosses look, because I'm using all the called for Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, Weeks Dye Works. I feel like a floss dealer because I have them all in a baggie, but yeah, I really like it. They're super pretty. I love the colors. I mean, I don't even have these on a binder ring. I just literally have them in a bag. So there's to show my organization. So I've already started on the roof. This is the roof line here. I finished the pot pretty quickly because it's just easy, simple stitching, but you do get bored doing that. So then I switched over to the flowers, did all the flowers. That was super fun. I love the way the flowers look. Like the variegation of the floss is just beautiful in the flowers. The only thing I have left to stitch up here is actually the flag, but I couldn't decide what I was gonna put in there for the flag. I couldn't decide if I was gonna do a American flag, if I was gonna do the called for flag. I mean, there's so many options that would relate more to me, but I don't know, I really like the way it looks. I like the blue, so I think I'll probably just do the called for flag. Not very exciting here, and that's my last whip. So I'm really happy with this one. This was my last weekend start. I started it Friday when I got home, and I stitched on it until yesterday, Monday, and today's Tuesday. So I don't know, I'll probably put this one away for a minute and start a new project later today, which pulls me into my kitted up projects. So I don't have a knitting portion this episode. I just have my kitted up projects, and I kind of want your guys' opinions on what to start next. So I'm gonna get into those. So this one I'm really excited about, and I'm really excited about the fabric. This is Summer Quakers, and this is a Rosewood Manor design. I love this. It's so pretty. I'm using or I guess I should say, I kitted up the Called for Valdani flosses, and it also calls for 1 skein of DMC 310, which is the black, so I do have all of that. And I did actually end up purchasing the Picture This Plus 28 count cashel linen. I love this. Oh, it's truffle cashel linen. So the color of the fabric, I don't know if it's showing up quite right or not, but it is just stunning. It's pink, it's blushy, it's rosy. I just love it, and I especially love it with the Valdani flosses. They're so pretty. I really want to start this, especially because we're in spring right now. So, you know, that even gives you more of a boost to like start stitching on those colorful projects. But I have heard that there's a lot of color changes with these projects. I don't know, color changes don't bother me as much. I think what I'm more worried about is running out of floss. She does actually though, at least I think, she says, yeah, you will use almost all of the following: P2, which is green olive, and JP8, spring leaves. So I do like that she actually says what you're going to use almost all the following of, which is really cool. But I was thinking maybe I should order a double of those just in case, because I don't know if I'm good enough at weaving in the back ends and everything to make it to where I'm actually not using up a bunch of the thread that I could have actually saved. So I'll have to see. I'll have to see what I think. You know, I need to stop doing that though, where, you know, if you start doubting yourself before you've even given something a shot, you know, it's like, I'll be able to find another skein of these flosses that I use almost all of. So it's not a big deal if I do, and I should just hop right in and go for it. But I don't know, this is option number 1. Haven't decided yet if that's what I'm gonna go with, but I do really like it. My other option, because I already have quite a few large pieces, I kind of want to start something small. So I actually have a couple of these kitted up. The other, I ordered the fabric and the other flosses for the second one. This one, I think. So this is Bump in the Night, and this is the Prairie Schooler. I'm obsessed with these, and this is Trick or Treat. I just think these will be so fun in the autumn, in the fall, and for Halloween, of course, too. But for me, I don't know, I love these. I'll keep them up all fall. I don't care. Most people will probably take them down after October, but not me. These are so fun. I maybe might take them down after Thanksgiving. But in exchange with Christmas stuff, if I ever do stitch Christmas stuff. But I actually, I ordered a couple more of them because I want like a 4. I want a 4, like a quad of them on my wall. So I'm obsessed with these. I love these. I will say this one is like a nice thick cardboard. This one is like paper, like floppy paper. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. I don't remember. I think this is the one I ordered on Etsy, and then this one I ordered off 123 Stitch. I'm definitely gonna just order them off of 123 Stitch going on forward. But like I said, I have the Called for fabric. The other piece is coming in the mail because I did order 2 of them, but the other one hasn't gotten here yet. This is 32 count lamb's wool. This is really basic, really actually very pretty fabric. I probably would use this again, honestly, because I think it's so pretty. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And they just stapled that bad boy on there. So apparently it is sturdy. And it just calls for DMCs. And like I said, I kitted up the other one, but she's still coming in the mail. So the other ones that I have are the orange and the brown, which is DMCs, 3826 and 3371. So just the brown and orange. So I could start one of these and then potentially just get a kick right onto the next one when it gets here, because it should be here in a few days. So thinking about that, I think that'd be fun. Here's my second piece to the Quakers by Rosewood Manor. This is Autumn Quaker. I really love this. It's so pretty. This one though, I ended up ordering the doubloon linen, the Picture This Plus, the called for linen, because the summer Quaker, right when I got that linen, it made me realize like, nope, you have to stitch this on the called for linen. It's so pretty, that linen. It is just stunning, and it looks like it's going to be such a dream to stitch on. This one, it doesn't say that you're going to get close to running out of any of the called for flosses. I did kit it up with the called for flosses. These are the Valdani thread pack. I love these, very pretty colors, very me. I love autumn, like fall, Halloween. That stuff is my absolute favorite. So I really want to start this one, but I need to wait for the right fabric. This is a Zweigart 28 count vintage country mocha. So just another piece of country mocha. And I am really happy with this. It makes me wish that I would have just picked a larger count. Well, I guess a smaller count technically. It makes me wish I would have picked this to do my Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow, because it's the same fabric. I also used a Zweigart 40 count country mocha. So I don't know. I do really like this actually with the flosses and everything. I think it is a really pretty look, and it does actually, I put it next to the spring Quaker because, you know, I do plan on eventually hanging them together and having all of them stitched up and maybe in a line on my hallway wall. I haven't decided though, because I'm not obsessed with the other two seasons, but you know, when you want a look, like you have it envisioned in your head, you'll push yourself. So I'm waiting for the other fabric to get here and see which fabric I like best. And that should be here in a couple days. So that'll be exciting. And then my next one is something that I saw Nightmare Before stitching. She actually just recently started this, which I thought was funny because I am obsessed with this. This is the Prairie Schooler, and it is Prairie Seasons. And this is a 1995 pattern, which is actually the year that I was born. So I love that. And of course I like this because I love the autumn. I love the pumpkin man. I love the little like birds. I think these are little birds or something. Or maybe they're just supposed to be, yeah, those are ears of corn, and then it's a squirrel. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I love this. And actually, I do like the other seasons. And honestly, I would stitch all of these together and hang them all up on my wall. I wouldn't swap them out every season. I'm not that fun. All right, you know, I'm just gonna put them all up. And these, I have the called for DMC flosses. I just have them all in a little baggie here. And I decided on a 28 count wheat Lugana. I thought that this would be a nice fabric for it because it's pretty neutral, but I need to figure out how large each piece is individually. I know that the fabric is big enough, but I need to know how far to separate the houses. And that's the one thing that, since I am such a new stitcher, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know how much, because I do know you need enough edging to be able to frame them. So the other thing I was thinking is like, well, I could just stitch them all in a line and, you know, have it that way, but I wasn't sure if they would all fit in a line. So I should do like a quad, you know. But then I thought, do I want them all to be in one frame? I'd prefer for them to be in 4 small frames. So I'll have to figure out how much I actually need. Honestly, I have to figure out how I figured that out in the first place. But that is my last little kitted up project. And I have a few more coming to me in the mail I'm super excited about. More fall, autumnal, like spooky season stuff. So I'm excited for those. And you have to let me know your opinions on what I should start next. I'm leaning towards one of the smaller pieces. So I'm leaning towards the Prairie Schooler. I think it was stitched up by the Nightmare Before Stitching. I think that's her name. She's on Instagram and on YouTube as the Nightmare Before Stitching, and I'll link her down below. I've been obsessed with her. She just put out another video, or maybe it was a while ago, but I just happened to find her, and so I just binge watched all of her episodes because her kits and a lot of the stuff she's stitching on is just 100% my style, or we have some of the same projects or similar projects. So I'm just loving her. Definitely, you know, shout out to her. I highly recommend. If you haven't watched her, go and check her out. But hopefully you guys can give me all the recommendations and, you know, tell me what you're stitching on and how things are going for you. And I hope all of you are well and staying, you know, healthy and as happy as you can in the world we're living in. But hey, you know, here's our little escape, our stitching getaway. So like I said, no knitting this week. It's just cross stitch heavy. Let me know what you guys think I should start next, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.